All right, let's find out about it day one. So we're talking about camouflage. So you can just remind them that about camouflage in general. So you guys remember from when we were reading, our little friend the chameleon would change colors based on his surrounding, right? So when he was on a brown branch, he was brown, and when he was on a green leaf, his body turned green. And that makes it difficult for animals to spot him in the wild, right? Because his colors blend into his surroundings. And that's called camouflage. When something blends into something else so you can't see it, it's camouflaged. So some animals have camouflage to help them hide or to help them go unnoticed because it keeps them safe from animals that might try and hurt them. So to kind of show you how camouflage works, we're going to look at this book. So you guys all should have this book on your shelf. It's called Can You See Me? So it's just a bunch of different pictures of animals that camouflage. So this page, it says, I'm a snake. Can you see me? Oh, let me skip this page just for the sake of Haley. I'm sorry. This is better. Hopefully you're not scared of crocodiles. I'm a reptile. Can you see me? So you can see on this page that this crocodile is kind of hard to see because he's brown with a little bit of green and yellow, and his surroundings in the swamp are also brown and green, so it makes it tricky to see him. And I think this guy uses it so he can sneak up on animals. I don't think he's trying to hide to protect himself. I think he's trying to hide so he can sneak up on animals. So how camouflage works. So if our friend Chameleon was standing, let's use the yellow one. So if our friend Chameleon was standing on this orange background and he didn't blend in, you can see him pretty easily, right? Because his yellow sticks out on the surroundings, this orange paper. But if our yellow chameleon is standing on a yellow background, it's a lot harder to see where he is, right? Because he blends right into the background. So let's see. Yeah. So all you're gonna do here is just have children help spot where the chameleon is. So you could do it one more time after you explain it and just be like, let's see if you guys can spot this pink chameleon, and then just have kids point to where they see him. Okay, and then in your small groups, we did this last year and it went about as well as I thought it would. I figured we would try it and just let you guys come back and tell me how it went. So it's a game with camouflage. So the way it works is you're supposed to have a large sheet. The instructions were a large sheet of yellow construction paper, and then you cut out a bunch of squares. Some are yellow and some are other colors, and you're supposed to give the kids 10 seconds, and they have to try and grab as many squares as they can. And at the end, you're supposed to point out that they probably picked up more colored squares because it was easier to see than the yellow squares that blended into the background. Which I get it. But I think when we did it last year, unless you had tons and tons and tons of squares, the kids ended up grabbing all of them, so then you really don't have a point to make. I think if you want to do this activity, what I would suggest is grab a piece of poster board. You could use white or black so that it's really, really big, and then do a bunch of squares white to blend in with the poster board, and then other ones, and do it. And I would limit the time. Don't do 10 seconds. I think 10 seconds is too long, and kids are able to grab all of them. Maybe do 3 seconds. I think that would be better, and it would probably work. So that's one option. Another option that I thought of is I got these little winter animals for our family night, and conveniently they got delivered 3 days after our family night. Thanks, Amazon. So I have enough for if every team wanted to do this. I think for every core member to have at least one animal. So you can see in here, I have a lot of winter animals. So obviously animals that try and blend into the snow. So you could have your kids I don't know, use this and like maybe have different like little habitats available for them, and like have the kids pick which ones they think the animal would blend into the best, or have kids like, I don't know. I don't think I want to have them make a habitat. I don't know. This is an infant of an idea. So if you guys have any thoughts on this, please let me know. But you could use these animals for something. Maybe, I don't know. Get back to me on this. Let me know what you think. I'm open to thoughts. It's your choice. Okay. So you're just gonna summarize everything when you come back. By saying, like, I wonder how it works, like how the chameleon skin is able to change colors. And then, that's weird, I don't know, say, I don't want you to say, I wonder, in the session plan it says, I wonder how the chameleon changes colors, but then it tells you to explain how it happens, so you don't wonder, you know. So maybe say, like, do you wonder how a chameleon changes colors, like how his skin is able to change colors? And just explain that it's because of something in his skin called pigment, which is what gives animals its color, and what gives plants its color, and it's what makes our skin, like some people's skin is lighter and some people's skin is darker. It's because of the pigment in the skin. And then there are other animals that can change colors too, kind of like the chameleon. So there are frogs and fish and spiders that can also change colors. And they can learn more about those animals in books. Okay, second implementation. So you're just going to start by asking kids if they've ever played hide and seek. Ask them like what things, like how they decide where they're going to hide, like what makes something a good place to hide. Usually it's like something where you can really camouflage yourself in, like maybe you're hiding behind like a shower curtain. That's always a good hiding spot. Hide behind the shower curtain in between the liner. And just, sorry guys, my tripod is the saddest of tripods. Okay, and then you're gonna go on to say that animals play kind of hide and seek. So some animals need to be able to hide from what's called a predator. So a predator is an animal that wants to eat them for their next meal. So some animals need to really hide from the animal that's trying to seek them. So that's a lot of times where camouflage helps, because it helps them not be seen by other animals and it keeps them safe. So like when the chameleon was camouflaged on his branch, he was brown and he blended right in, and animals couldn't see him, so he was safe. Okay. And then you're gonna have a picture of a lion. And just ask the kids, do you think this lion could hide easily in his surroundings right here in his environment? And hopefully they'll say yes, because he's brown and he blends right in to his brown surroundings. But what do you think about this bird? This is a cardinal. Do you think this cardinal would have an easy time blending in or a hard time? And so yeah, this bird would have a hard time blending in because it's bright red, and it lives in the woods where most things are either green or brown. So it's pretty easy to spot. So some animals, instead of using camouflage, will actually have really bright colors, and it serves to kind of warn other animals that they're dangerous or poisonous. So there are some like really, really brightly colored frogs that look really pretty, but it's actually a warning that they are poisonous and they'll make you sick if you touch them. All right, so for the small group portion, you have these cards in your materials packet. So you're just gonna go one by one and show the people, show the children the picture and see if they can find the animal that's hidden in there. I think this was the hard one. There's one of them that I genuinely couldn't find it. I think well, now that I've seen it, I don't have trouble finding it. But this alligator one was tricky. I had a hard time figuring out where the alligator was. So just go one by one and have the kids find where the animal is in that picture. And just kind of talk about why they're camouflaging well in that picture. So like the lizard is brown and it lives in a desert that's covered with mostly brown things, brown rocks, brown sand, that kind of thing. So it's easy to camouflage in that environment. So animals have different colorings to help camouflage in their own specific environment. Okay, and then your last bit, you're gonna close things out by holding up a little polar bear and tell them that this polar bear is looking for a place where he can be camouflaged in your classroom. And so you need help finding a place where he can hide. So usually polar bears can be found on the ice in the Arctic, so that's why he's white, because his fur is white, so it blends into the white ice. So have the children help you figure out a spot in the classroom that's white that he could easily blend into, and maybe just tape him up there for the rest of the session so he can blend in. And then you can end by just telling them that they can keep talking about animals and different kinds of animals in dramatic play for zoo. So let's find out about it.